Alright, what's up guys? Mr. D here. Alright, grading some of your sketchbook stuff. And I decided that I think we should go over a couple things that a little bit of my expectations. Okay, so if you're ever gonna do an observational drawing, take a picture of it, okay? You can get a very, very good reference picture with your phone. Make sure you hold it like this. I would hold it like this. And try to find a composition that you're gonna like on your paper. Okay, so photography has a lot to do with fine art. I never really claimed to be the best fine artist, but I can always make good compositions. And what we've learned from that is principles of design. They're just gonna enhance any composition no matter what it is. Take a good picture. Make sure that you set your image up in natural light. I'll try to make an iMovie and put this image in there. And then go in and edit it. And if you're beginning, you can edit it in black and white. Scroll all the way to the end and of your edits on an iPhone and choose the edit noir. Put it in that and it's going to give you really, really nice contrast. It's going to give you good midtones and you're going to be able to see and control the highlights. Step 1 is find a good composition. Step 2, take your time, okay? This is Gianna's today. She's in 3rd grade. And it really didn't take her that long. So we wanna make sure that we're really focusing on some of these drawing techniques, and I'm gonna go over them again right now. Alright, let's see here. My picture. Okay, so I'm gonna have this reference picture nice in front of me, whatever way I decide for this composition to go. I put this picture in black and white. I'm going to be using colored pencils to draw it. You can use your graphite pencil, you can use your number 2 pencil, but you're gonna see the difference in what I'm talking about when I'm talking about value. Now notice how Gianna's, okay, 3rd grade, everything's all yellow. The pineapple's all yellow. Everything's all orange. The orange is orange. The apple's red. Our bananas, they're not very ripe yet, so they're kind of green. Okay, but everything in this picture is yellow. Or it's colored. It also has a form of yellow in it. So I could draw with the yellow. I'm gonna actually draw with a yellow green. I gotta sharpen it. Maybe I'm not gonna draw with the yellow green. I'm gonna draw with I'm gonna draw with the red. I think the red will be good. And this is kind of a small red. Looks like it's been sharpened on both ends. All right, and I'm just gonna get the basic shapes of this drawing. Okay, so I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna hold my paper this way. I make that decision and I wanna get that quick and light and loose line like we did in class. All right, and I'm just gonna start shaping out my objects. Notice how I'm holding my pencil like this. Not like this, I'm not sketching. I'm holding it like this and I'm getting my arm involved. Okay, my arm's involved and I'm just starting out with basic geometric shapes, which you guys did an amazing job with. I'm doing too, while I'm kind of doing this gesture light and loose line, I am looking at the sides of my composition. I want to make sure I already cropped and I edited this to make so what I want this to look like. So I actually did the hard part. Okay, so now I can use the edges as almost a reference too. So if I see that there's orange off to the right, kind of pick up the bowl from there. And remember from the chair project, you can always draw what's not there. Okay, if you draw what's not there or the negative space, I'll show you right in here. I'm gonna highlight it. And it's okay that it's highlighted because it's gonna be black anyway. show you this real quick. Look at this little black space right here. Okay, that black space right there, that could be a cool composition in itself. I mean, don't be afraid to like blow things up like this. All right, that could be your composition as well. All right, but I'm looking here and I'm looking at this black space right there. And that's what I want to try to draw. I want to draw that space because that's going to help me figure out where in relation to this space, this orange is going to be. Okay, so now I'm just focusing on the negative space that I drew, and I'm focusing on the orange right there, and I'm trying to get those spaces to be pretty much what they are. So from the positive space, I'm going back into some of these light, loose drawings, light, loose shapes. They're just geometric shapes. They're very, very simple. Okay, unless you are like me and wanted to punish my kids by putting a pineapple in there. I mean, if you have a pineapple, put it in there. So like I'm light and loose. I want to try to draw this whole entire drawing. Okay, so here you see, I just did like the basic shapes, okay? I actually ended up throwing in some of the background in there, just so I don't have like a floating bowl. I could also put it on like a nice wash. If you have watercolors, that'd be fine too. This is watercolor paper. But notice how like some of these spaces in here, they're the negative space. So like I can look at that negative space and like make the negative space like have relation to the positive space. So use it as reference. Okay, so that is the first issue that I think that we need to work on. We need to work on your gesture line, your beginning line, your quick, light, loose sketch line. And it's not sketching like you're used to, like this, it's sketching like this. Okay, so you want to really be able to kind of, okay, so that's what you want to do. Number two, I think an issue is, I don't think you guys are looking at your, like what you're drawing. I think you're trying to capture a mental picture and relay that on the paper. And so what that's turning out as is like our trees still look like that, or you know, different flowers. Like we need to get past this, okay, and we need to elevate the level to learning some of those techniques. So another thing is make sure that more than 50% of the time, really think about it, more than 50% of the time you are looking at what you're drawing, okay? That's gonna make your drawings a lot better. Okay, so the next thing that you guys need to work on is value, okay? Remember that you can edit your reference photo to get really good value. If you just want to do a pencil drawing and do it in graphite, I'm cool with that. If you have other art supplies at home, like paints or watercolors, or like I'm using these watercolor pencils because I think that's kind of cool. And I'll show you at the end like how you can like really make it pretty nice looking. But I'm using these, so you could use whatever. No matter what you use, you still have to have value. Okay, that's important. It's an important thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add value with color. Now, if you are on this level, okay, then I want you to do it in pencil. And I want you to turn your picture black and white, and I want you to add the value. Try to just add the dark to light value, just like your monochromatic swatches. Okay, if you are on this level, I'll show you one that I did. Like I said, I don't really claim to be that good, but I thought this was a cool one. Alright, then this is what you have to do. You can use paints, you can use pastels, okay, but you need to edit your photo in color and make the color like vibrant. Turn up the saturation a little bit, make sure you crop it down a little bit, and then add value with color, and you can look at your color wheels. Okay, so think about it. If I'm gonna do an apple red, like there's no opposite color on the color wheel from red that my value is gonna be. So I'm just gonna look at analogous colors. You can flip back into your notes, look at analogous colors. All right, I'm gonna do my highlights with yellow. I'm gonna do my midtones with orange. The watercolor is gonna be nice. Like I can like just do the shapes and then I can blend it with water. I'm gonna do my darks or a darker midtone with reds. And then I'm going to shade. I'm gonna add my shadow. I'm gonna cool it off and actually add an opposite color, but I'm gonna make sure it goes into the reds. Is this purple or violet? I'm not gonna shade with black. Don't shade with black, get out of that habit. And also get into the habit of shading last if you are using these, or if you're using paint, okay? So I would say like if you're using color, then work maybe light to dark, or just kind of work it however you guys want. Okay, so now we're gonna start adding value. So that's gonna be the next step. So I have my gesture line. Now I'm gonna add value. All right, here we go. Okay, so I started adding value, okay? Like I said, I'm adding it with color. Okay, so something I want you guys to notice is like I'm not trying to finish everything. Like these are the steps that I'm taking to complete this. So it's not like, all right, I added value, I'm done. Like I gotta keep going into it, all right? Just take your time. You guys, I'm gonna give you guys more days to complete sketches if they start coming in like this. Okay, so now that I added my value, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add water. Okay, so now when I start adding water, that would be like you guys blending. Okay, so notice how like I don't have my darks in. I just have like my midtones, all right, and I try to like kind of pull out my highlights from the beginning. And I like working light to dark because if you start dark, it can get like messy. Right? You can always like go over light with dark, but you can't really always go over dark with light. So, and that's for any medium, right? So I like working light to dark. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a paintbrush. You guys would grab your little smudgers or whatever you guys want, a tissue. And you're gonna start blending your midtones into your highlights. Okay, so this is what we got so far. All right, your midtones are gonna be in the middle. So if we took out all the darks and all the lights, okay, this, or you know, all the really like highlights, this is what you would get. All right, so now we're building, okay? It's like building a thing. So first you had that quick, loose, light line, gesture line. Then you started adding in your value. Okay, and we're starting by adding midtones.